Okay, so this is a cautionary video, and it's just about when you're going through this process of researching and digging away, and you're discovering things, and the mask and the veil is being stripped away, and you're taking the red pill, and the matrix is becoming visible, and you're seeing all the corruption and all the terrible things, and you know you don't stay there, and it's not your job to go and broadcast it to the world and like, wake up everyone, and be on your soapbox, and don't turn yourself into a martyr, is what I'm saying, because it's kind of like, if this is the matrix, let's use that analogy, going around and just shotgun blasting everyone and telling them off for being asleep is only going to draw the agents to you, right? And it's not, your job isn't to go around waking people up. The matrix is there to support the people who want to stay asleep, okay? And as a divine being connected to the all, and everyone is that, then you must respect people's choices to remain asleep. I mean, who are you to tell them to wake up? When you were asleep for however many years or decades of your life until you woke up. So, what happens when you go and wake someone up before they're ready? They get pissed off, they tell you to get the fuck away, and they want to go straight back to sleep. And so all you're going to do is get frustrated. Your job is to, once you understand what's going on and you see through the veils and you see the matrix, so to speak, is to learn about the system and how it works and what you can do with it, and what, how deep it goes and where it goes and what's possible. Just like Neo in the Matrix, the hacker, once you start to understand how the system works, you escalate your privileges so you can do more with it, right? You're not just this little zombie bot that's being, programmed and told what to do, when and how and for how long, and without knowing why. You start to get into the back door of things, into the programs behind the programs, into the system level, and you can start to play around with it and start to change it. And so if you're getting a lot of resistance, or if you're one of those people that is triggered by every little, controversial comment or post, then, you need to just chill out and relax and sort of step back a bit and allow things to be as they are, because you're not trying to tear the system down, okay? That would be a nightmare. That would be really, really bad. You're there to tweak and improve it, and to, if it's not, giving you the kind of, let's say, outcomes that you're after, or if it's limited, then, get your skill level to a point where you can go and write a new program and maybe create a new server, so to speak, be of service to people, and, then open it up for people that you think are going to help you support and contribute and build that out further. And then you may actually have something that's more attractive to people, and will wake them up because they're interested, right? And they're of their own volition and they want to come towards you. So, this whole soapboxing, preaching and getting angry, and, I can't tell you how many posts I get, it's like, and they're all the same title. It's all clickbait. It's all like, watch this now before YouTube takes it down. And what is it about? It's about politics. It's about manipulation of medicine. It's about mask wearing, not mask wearing. It's about controls. And it's like, okay, I get it, you know, I get this is all happening. Like, you've got to be a fucking fool to not realize that this is happening, okay? But is there anything that you can do to change it right now? And the answer, what's the answer? No, there isn't a fucking thing you can do, because if there was, you would have done it already and it wouldn't be happening anymore, okay? So rather than trying to get in there and block it and stop it and, you know, be the resistance, why don't you see how you can use it to redirect it into something that's much, much better, okay? So instead of going to war with it, how can you flip it into something better? All right? So, you know, think about this musically. Let's take it out and put it in a whole new frame. Musical songs, you know, there were these songs that I used to listen to all the time. I didn't listen to, they were playing in the background. My parents played them, my grandparents played them, my relatives played them. Every family function you ever went to, birthday, marriage, christening, whatever, there was some music in the background, and there was inevitably that song you just can't stand anymore, right? And you can be the little kid going, oh, I don't want to listen to that. And you can go and scratch the record, and you can make a big scene and piss everybody off, because, you know, they don't really care that that song's on or not. They just all want to have a good time. Or, you know, you can learn how to produce music, and you can use the samples of all those songs that everybody loves that you can't stand, that it's all anchored into their consciousness. You can rework it into a new song altogether, a new sound altogether, a new genre, and you can have a hit record that everybody listens to instead, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, whoa, what's happening over there? This is cool. And then you go, you think that's cool? Watch this. And then you show them something else that you're interested in, that is, you know, for the benefit of the future of humanity and the planet and the human race, and it, you know, you can start to shift consciousness somewhere else, redirect it, you know. You don't have to sit there and block it and fight it and get into a struggle. You can let it come and move it somewhere else, all right? And then all of a sudden, you're in a whole different place, all right? And people are like, oh wow, this is nice, you know. God, I should have done this. So I was asleep for all those years, wasn't even any good dreams, you know. Now that I've woken up, oh man, I'd never go back to sleep. This is amazing. This is crazy in a good way, right? Being asleep is crazy. God, that was an adventure, you know. It's like Alan Watts talks about the people who are asleep, and he says, I say respect, because you are playing way out on the fringe. You are playing the game of pretending that you're not everything, right? And so let those people sleep. Don't worry. You want to be there when they wake up, and you want to have created a world for yourself and for those people who are interested in what you're interested in, who like the things that you like, and want to do the stuff that you want to do. And you know what? If you've done this for a while and you've been through a few cycles and you've gone down the rabbit hole of the biggest secret and the lizard controllers of the planet and the financial system and, you know, the pharmaceutical big pharma and all that stuff, you know, once you've been through all that and you come out the other end, you might just realize that there's enough room for any fucking idea you can possibly conceive of, and they're already out there, and you probably haven't even discovered half of them, let alone, or not even half of them. You discovered a pinprick on, you know, on a mountain. And so as soon as you start to, you know, move off, it's like you're on holiday. You go on holiday, you're in a new country, this culture's different, and the language, and all these people we met, and the food, and oh, look at this place, and this, oh wow. And you're like, you know what? If I didn't have to go back, I wouldn't. How many of you had that experience? Right? So how do you create an experience where people want to move to and are able to stay there? Okay, well, you need to make that journey first, right? No use you being there on your soapbox complaining about the current virtual reality program that's been shoved down your throat. Why don't you just take the headset off or get into the operating system and write yourself a new one, right? Oh, how do I do that? Well, that's where the skill comes in. That's the great work. And they call it the great work because it's the work. There's every other thing is trivial in comparison to this. It's like, oh, well, you're working on this, you're working on that, this is your job, this is your vocation, working on this project, da-da-da. Yeah, that's all well and good. But when you're working on mastering the 5 rings of the gauntlet, to be in the driver's seat of your reality, the actual, at one with the creator of the universe, what you're perceiving, when you get into that driver's seat, you're not going to have time for any of this other crap. You're not going to have time to watch the post, watch this now before it gets taken down. Oh, the conspiracy theory, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to have time to argue with people. There's a great post that came through yesterday. So this is how I argue with people in 2021. Yes, you're right. Goodbye. And you're out of there, right? It's like, this is not my reality. This is not what I want, okay? You want this, you have this. Go for it. You want to complain? Go for it. Complain till you're blue in the face. I don't have to listen to it. I don't have to be here. You don't have to watch this video if it doesn't interest you. And if it doesn't, don't. I'm not trying to make you do anything, right? So why? I don't get why people do this. Get all worked up. Who's that affecting? It's affecting you. Just calm down, relax, go back to the drawing board and do the work. Work on your skill, work on your abilities, okay? There's no use if you're trying to program a new future and it's not working, you don't start hitting the machine and yelling at it, right? Okay, maybe you need to clear that emotion, but is that going to help you program your new reality, your new future? Of course not. That's ridiculous. That's stupidity, right? And there's enough stupidity out there. We don't need any more of that. So put that all away. If you're finding it hard to focus on what you actually want, minus all the controls and all the conspiracies and all the rabbit holes and you're not ready to create yet. You still need to go back and sit and relax. Be at peace with just being, doing nothing. Can you do nothing and be relaxed and okay with it? Okay, good. Now we move forward. Now we start to do things. And use that as a gauge. Every time you start to get worked up, you start to get out of control, relax, take it down a notch, go back to the drawing board, look at your data, what happened there, what fired off that, look how quickly that went down that rabbit hole. Where's the brake? Is there a brake? Let's pull the handbrake. What's the GPS say? Where are we? Where do we want to go? Do we have to backtrack, or can we go this way and through? You know. Start there, and when you center yourself and you have anchored that state with no stimulation, with no distraction, then, and you get good at it, then start upping the ante. Then see if you can take it out further, beyond this edge, beyond that edge, in this situation, under stress, under excitement, you know. It was like, oh yeah, it's not always about putting yourself in hard situations and holding it. It's about when it gets really good, how long can you ride that wave as well? Because sometimes that can be overwhelming too. It's like, you know, things were going too well for the last 3-4 days. I think I'm gonna fuck it up somehow just to feel normal again. You know, how do you resist that? How do you not battle with that and ride further? You know, it's one thing I've learned is that if you can just go that little bit further, just hold without holding it, you know, stay centered, ride it, go with the flow a little longer, you know, don't rush in, just let it unfold, keep letting it unfold, keep relaxing and allowing it to unfold without any effort from you at all. You can be in a very short time in a whole new place, in a whole new space, with a whole new mind and a whole new body and a whole new way of being, right? And you know, that's just the beginning. If you can do it once, you can do it twice. If you can do it twice, you can do it 10 times. When you do it 10 times, you probably do it 100,000 times. And if you can do it slow, you can probably do it fast too, you know? And so focus on the skill, not so much the result. You'll get the results if you master the skill. And if you master the skill and you get the results, then you'll have the skill to get even more results. Okay? So, hope this helps. I'll see you all again in another video sometime in the future.